Hey, what's up? I'm Hype. I play games, make games, and everything in between. And today we're going to continue building out this first-person shooter. We got the gun, we got the bullets, and we got the enemy spawning, but we don't have any of the health. And yeah, this is gonna be a little bit of a challenge because I'm still not exactly sure how I want things to evolve, but we definitely want the enemy coming straight at us and us to just shoot the bad guys. But I don't know, like, I feel like this moving up and down on the gun may not be needed. We may only need to go left and right, but we're gonna mess with that today. Just hit the edit button. We are using HypeHype to make games. It's a dope app. Oh, that skull, I gotta figure out how to get that skull in there. HypeHype is a... Oh man, this background music is way too loud, I think. And... yeah, no, I don't... having sound issues again. Is there background music? Who knows? Okay, let's set this up. If there's not, that's okay, but... I think there is. Okay, turn that down. I was able to figure out some stuff with the YouTube and the live stream. It's cool, and it's to have the music turned down in volume when I'm speaking, but then when I don't say anything, the volume goes back up. So let's test it. Okay, cool. Looking good. So we got these alien swamp looking dudes. These guys don't actually spawn. They're single objects that exist. And the skulls we have spawning, for whatever reason, they spawn sideways. But we do have, let's turn the logic on. Yes, we got these little robot dudes. It looks like here we got a couple of them. Oh, yeah, that was for the screenshot. I have been kind of trying to perfect my screenshots, my screenshot game, and I think I'm coming a long way. So let's take a look at this spawner dude because this works, and I tried to set this up manually by myself, but that did not work, and yeah, and that's okay. You know, I find a lot of times when I'm trying to do something, I'm able to get close to what I want, but you know, trial and error. So let's take a look at this guy. Okay, so this robot has a lot going on. It's a dynamic object. We hit advanced. We got a compare node. The value equals 5, then it gets destroyed. Well, I don't know what value that is. Oh, it's this one. Subtract 1. Okay, so if the robot dude gets hit by the ball, which is a green object, here it says trigger group, then this compare node subtracts 1 from a number here, 5, and then so you have to hit the dudes 5 times before they blow up or disappear. That's way too many. Let's do 2. Cool to see how that works though, because then we can adjust it to what we like, and that's what I would like. Robot gets hit twice and then gets destroyed. We got to compare the collision vector transform. This is the speed of the robot running towards us at 0.05, and we can actually add a random node to have it so that that object as a variable range of distance, or a variable range of speed, I should say. And yeah, we got the rigged animation, which is basically the robot dude running, and the particle effect is for the explosion. Also notice executing is off. You always want that off. It's always on automatically. So what did we say? Random node. So I don't know how many nodes you can fit into a single object. I think it's like, say 10. But there is a limit. You don't have to put these objects or these nodes in the object. Sometimes you don't want to, sometimes you do want to. It kind of all depends on what you're trying to do, which is really cool, I think, for HypeHype, because when you're building out mechanics, levels, you can figure out how to do that, or do it the way you like it. So then we're going to add a random node, and we can see it's still there. So the speed is 0.05. Let's do 0.05 and then 0.065. So on start, so whenever this robot, every time it gets created, whenever it randomly gets created, we're gonna do here, grab this little green arrow, on random per link, select the robot, go to vector transform, and I believe it's vector Z. And we want positive numbers, not negative. Let's confirm that. Yeah, 0.05. So now I'm going to move that to 0. Each time that robot spawns, oh, we can see 0.65 might be too fast. But they go in different speeds. I don't know if you can notice. See, some of them go super fast. I think 0.065 is maybe too fast. So let's see. Okay, look at that dude, he's moving fast. And I also feel like the Y value of the gun is a little bit too high, so we're gonna go ahead and move that down. Hit the set view. And remember, everything on this gun is basically set up to here. There is a triangle, and I like to hit this little arrow at the bottom, and we can see that the Y value is at -1Y. Let's move that down a little bit more. -1.5. Let's see how that looks. Okay, so we'll figure out the skulls in a little bit. That robot's going too fast. And now the gun movement is changing. I think I'm gonna remove you. No, nobody wants to buy anything. So one of these vector transform, I believe, is for the Y value right here. Nope, these are both for the X. Let's do joystick X-axis and if that just turns it off. Let's take a look. And then whenever doing this, we want to have a enable dead zone. Cool. Okay, cool. So one thing I do know how to do is, let's go look at that robot here again. And so every 0.5 seconds, a number between 0 or -10 and +10 gets activated. And then this object spawns. Does it spawn in the same place? No, offset X. Okay, so the offset spawner X decides randomly where. So -10 and +10. So we should try to put the spawner at 0. Does this even have a 0? Or we? Okay, so this is at 0. And this is why I like to use precise numbers. And I got these columns over here. This is at -10. This is at +10. So we want to make sure this is actually at, where is it? Yeah, this is the spawner. We want this to be at 0. Okay, we can might as well put this at 0 too, because I like everything to be organized. And then I wonder what this is at y of -3.5. Does this matter if I put that up here? It does. Okay, so let's put this. Was it -3 point? No. 1 point. No, -2. Okay, so let's create another one of these. Duplicate, copy this container, and instead of this dude, let's change it to that character monster. And we can also add different elements to make the robots appear a different color. I think that's a good thing to do. So we'll do that as well. I want to make this guy a little bit smaller because he's kind of really big right now. Oh, I also forgot. He's on TikTok. Okay, and let's put that over here. What's up, Pumpkin God? Unfortunately, I do not recommend BuildBox as a software to make games. I stopped using it about a year ago. I have a video talking about why. I just, I probably will not be making another video on BuildBox because I like to make games, and HypeHype for me is basically the coolest way to make games nowadays. And yeah, I've made so many games recently with HypeHype over the last about a year, and yeah, BuildBox just I use them to be honest. I use them for 5 years, and I still think they're great software. I think they have lots of potential. I just, as a company, I don't understand some of the decisions that they're making, or it seems like the decision isn't about basically the people who use the software. So my opinion only. But thanks for the feedback, Pumpkin God. Okay, let's get the shooter. Okay, this has got to spawn here, and we'll need interval for these. And then just put these into here. And instead of spawn that dude, we do spawn this dude. Is this guy in here? It's gotta be, I think he is. Select it, hit hide, and now it's kind of hiding. Oh. Target practice. Alien. Yeah, let's call it alien. Okay. So now we got two. Oh, kind of accidentally moving the world. So now we got two of these. And I wonder if I can set a random spawner to trigger these intervals if they're both in separate reusable containers. That I feel like you shouldn't be able to do that. Well, I guess I could use broadcasters or broadcast listeners to activate. Yeah. Well, we got. I don't see this dude spawning because he's a dynamic object. Okay, here we go. Let's clear this, and I think this guy needs to. No, he's in there. So here, the spawner is selected to this container. So maybe I need to do that. Maybe that's what I was missing. So some of these robots are moving super slow. Okay, but for some reason, the alien monster dude is not being spawned, even though it's kind of sort of set up identical. But I must be missing something. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this dude. The skull seems to be spawning. And actually that skull is kind of big, so let's make it smaller. Oh, that looks cool, but yeah. What is up with these two? So this dude, so this is where I take things that have worked for me or works in one hype, and then I just try to recreate it in the current hype that I'm working on. So right now I'm trying to get the alien dude to spawn just like the robot dude. So they're literally copied off of each other. And this one is copied off of this one. Object red. Okay, that looks to be the same. That looks to be the same. Spawn itself. So they look identical, but something, I gotta be missing something. All right, maybe if I just try to create it on my own. Oh. All right, I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna turn off this so that doesn't turn on. All right, we got that dude spawning. Look at the debug. Oh wait, is that him? That's... Okay, so... So it's working when I turn it on. But it looks like it doesn't want to turn on by its own. So I'm just gonna go grab another interval and maybe somehow that one got corrupted or something. I don't really know. I can see that it works properly in the debug, so I feel like it's something here. Or maybe if I just... Yeah, like it's supposed to loop. And we gotta increase the speed of the bad guy for sure, because it's way too slow. Go to debug, select interval. Now if I hit execute, it should be turning on and then every 5 seconds causing a spawn to happen, but it doesn't look like it's happening. I have to hit the execute button myself. Yeah, so when I hit the execute button, it spawns. Okay, so I don't know what's going on with this interval. I'm just gonna go ahead and delete it. 0.5 seconds. Put this one in there, or I think it is. Do 0.5 seconds on override loop. Wait, was it execute? Okay, let's go here. Random execute. Okay, and then on time, execute. So this is not being triggered. So it's cool that I can break it down to try to see step by step what's causing an issue. Not cool that I can't seem to get it to work. Okay, so on. I mean, all right, maybe I should build this out separately. Let's take a look. Physical. Collision trigger, that looks all fine. Vector transform, we got that in the random. Maybe physics is default, no dynamic, that's good. Maybe allow override. So I'm gonna hit the question mark at the top left where it says interval. Maybe I'm missing something. Execute activates the interval timer. Well, for some reason it doesn't seem to be working on my end. Duration, timer, offset. Okay, I'm just gonna try to build this from scratch, which means we need the alien. Can I just put alien? No. When all the shortcuts do not seem to be working, sometimes it's good to take the long way. All right, I'm gonna grab this dude, the sneeze. He looks like a bad guy. Face him this way. And make him a dynamic character. Go ahead and add all these components. We've got a container. I'm gonna make that a reusable. And that's gonna include an interval, a random node, and a spawner. Let's just put all of these in here. I'll call this bad guy 2. What's up, Durham? Okay, so that's still going. Show. Okay, let's line these up. Oh, maybe the location. Okay. gonna change this offset spawner to see. Why are you not spawning? Interval 0.5 seconds. Loop. At the end, go here, execute. Here you can put what? Let's just do -1, +1, not that big of a deal. Execute. No. Is it execute? Offset spawner, okay. Offset X. Oh, actually, how does this one execute? Okay. So this one. The speed of these bad guys is so bad. 3.5. So that spawns. Yeah, I'm always having difficulties with spawners, so I think it's a good idea to keep messing with spawners so that I could try to figure out, because I'm doing something, I'm missing something. I just don't know what I'm missing. Collision trigger, destroy. And I kind of also want to have a broadcaster to keep track of points. Collision. And this broadcaster is going to be called Core. No. Here, we want object to spawn. Enabled spawner local transform. Let's look at these. Check. So we got the robot. All these guys are moving backwards. So we need to these guys, maybe object unmovable, set the kinematic. And wonder if I do something like this. Grab a switch. I can't seem to get the other reusable containers to work the way that I want. But if that one is working properly, maybe I can find a way to get that to work. Ability. Okay, so notice how this is executing every 0.5 seconds. And then when we go to this one, it's not. So that definitely seems like there's a bug in the looping system. But this one works. Every 0.5 seconds, execute this. So I set it. this spawning stuff. This one executes every 0.5 seconds, but then it goes to the switch, which it doesn't seem to want to work. What if I undo all this? Undo. Delete, delete, and so this is working properly. So if I take this, duplicate, copy this container, and I don't know, just change this color just to see if, ew, it's pink, that looks so ugly. Okay, just like a green robot, like this should be working. And the fact, oh wait, no, because it doesn't have anything. All right, I'm gonna try the same thing I tried before, interval. Random. Spawn. This is every 0.5 seconds. So executes this, which is the -10, +10, and this is for the X value of where it's gonna land. And then on release, offset spawner, offset X spawner. But that doesn't like where, what I'm confused is where does this get turned on? You see, it doesn't say it's turned on here. Can I go into this? No. Reusable. Okay, let me select this and then we'll hit play, look at the debug. Okay, so we see the robots being spawned. And here we can see the different X values of where they're being spawned to. And then the Y, Z, okay. What about this one? Does this one have updating information as well? No, nothing. It's tough because sometimes there's like a bug and I don't know if it's me or if it's HypeHype, and most of the time I would say it's usually my mistake. I just don't know what the mistake is. So just gotta have a lot of time and patience. Because this is not spawning. Object to spawn, alien. Target, object to spawn, target practice. Okay, well, this dude kind of works. Although this goes back and forth, I believe. There, we got the head spawning. And then Okay, so tilting the head sideways causes it to spawn right up. And I think that has to do with how the cube is set up and how the skull is set up. And okay, we got broadcaster, we got score, we got particle effects, we got kinematic, we got vector transform, we got interval. So we have a lot of the same components as these target practice. And again, I'm not sure what is missing. Because the gray target practice works properly and the other ones do not. So it's super kind of frustrating, but yeah, it's okay. Let's put this target practice, put this in the middle. And let's not have it spawn every couple of seconds. Let's do duration. Let's do 1. Or we can maybe add another random. Okay, so we can't add a random here. Or wait, this is a speed, I believe. No, this is the speed. This is the duration. Okay, so 1.5, and let's do 0.5. So random interval duration every 0.5 to 1.5 seconds. This should loop and cause the skull to spawn. And then wherever that cube is in the back is where the dude will spawn. But I kind of like how the other setup is offset of X, which is kind of cool, I guess, because we got 2 different ways of spawning objects. And that's why I did this, is to learn multiple ways. It does look like that specific way I set up for this robot isn't necessarily working other than what we see. This setup I like. I don't know, let's try it all again, but without being in a container. I can get one other enemy to spawn, then I'll try to set up health and stuff. Hey, Mind Ruler, you're back at it again. Okay, I'm gonna put this dude back here. And I'm curious, if I make this invisible, will the skulls still spawn? I think so, but I don't know. And I want to find out. Yep, there it is. Okay, let's do 5 and 5. These dudes are just spawning way too far apart. Alright, so everything's kind of within here. And this is definitely spawning way too fast. Alright. So let's get this guy. Make him be running. He is a kinematic object. Type kinematic. And we'll have a collision trigger that will set off a particle effect, which will be the explosion, along with a destroyer to destroy the object itself, to destroy the object so that it no longer takes up space, and a broadcaster to signal a score, which also reminds me we want a, here, this one. Object destroy interval. Okay, so after 10 seconds, the balls that get created and used to shoot at the enemies, they destroy themselves after 10 seconds. Which is good because if you're having a good game, you're gonna have, let's say, thousands of these balls, and if you don't destroy them, then it will cause everything to lag, and that's not what you want. Probably what you don't want. Okay, where were we? Go to this dude. I'm gonna change his color because this guy is the one we're trying to get to spawn. And let's go ahead and add a spawner. So this spawner is pointing up. What is that? X of 0, Y of -2. This spawner is pointing up. I don't know how, like, I think that is the natural direction. Here we can see that that spawner is also pointing up, and so is the character. So here I'm going to do object to spawn here. Oh, and we also want a vector transform for this dude to have him move towards the main character, and I believe we want set duration to 0 because this is going to be a constant speed as opposed to move from A to B in 0.5 seconds. We want move from A just in that direction for as long as possible. And I'll create something at the behind the gun to be like the health or something, so or wall, or if it gets hit then you get damaged, maybe try to give you 3 lives or something like that. Let's do I want to say 0.05 and loop. Maybe the other ones didn't have a loop, I don't know. But this also we want an interval. And let's do 1 second and let's loop it. So every 1 second, this should execute, causing this green monster to spawn. Okay, so there they are, but they're moving. They seem not to be moving. I mean, wonder if I can say shoot. Shoot. Oops, not that one. Shoot towards. Again, I think if I take this and I hit rotate and I rotate it twice, 1, 2, that'll cause them to spin. But again, he's not moving, so maybe he's set to static. Oh, there's the Z, there's the move. Maybe 0.5? Come on, alien dude, why are you not moving? see. Oh, wait a minute, because the vector transform is not turned on. Duh, that's why it's not moving, because... And now he's moving too fast. 0.05. And we also want to make sure that the collision... we gotta put him down to the ground a little bit. I don't see another... And also, he's not getting killed by the balls. What's up? Collision trigger. Oh, green. Okay. Let's move him down. Kind of almost want it to be like he's stepping on the ground or through the ground. And what did we notice? The spawner wasn't the interval. This wasn't being executed. So notice, oh, there it is, every 1 second. Okay. I'm gonna have to turn down these flames on the... Let's put the skulls. Let's do every 5 seconds, because I do like the flame particle setup. I just think it's a little much right now. And this, every interval, should be spawning an object. Okay, so the skull thing is not being spawned every 5 seconds, which is totally annoying me. Hey, what's going on? Why are you spawning every couple of seconds when you're supposed to do it every 5? Okay, let's try it every 10 seconds. Oh, you know what? If this gets spawned, okay, so I think what's happening is it's a spawner. The interval timer is in the object that's getting spawned, so it can't cause the object to spawn because it's already inside of it, which basically I think is just causing it to spawn over and over again. So I'm going to delete this. I'm going to add an interval. And this is good. I don't use intervals that much, and honestly, they seem to not work that great. So here, and then spawn, execute. And it's outside the object. There we go. So every 5 seconds, that bad guy is still collision trigger. Okay, I set up the collision trigger. Let's go and make sure that the ball is collision trigger group green. Yes, it is. So you... Oh, because I didn't set it up. Okay. Particle execute. This is the explosion. And then destroy, execute, and broadcaster. We're going to try to keep score. Broadcaster, execute. So this is not spawning.
Wait! Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys. What you talking about?
All young men with suits and ties, just sitting in the crowd smoking big cigars. I hope you're ready for what's coming now. I'm the one on the lady that will bring it down.
Let's see if the interval is working.
Whiskey's running like the river, but they all never come for the booze and bass. I'm the one on the lady that'll rock this place. That'll rock this place. That'll rock this place. Rock this place. Rock this place. Rock this.
Oh, is that the right?
Okay, now, from the beginning.
Maybe this. Can't get multiple spawners. Well, I mean, I got the skull to work, so that's a plus. Oh, maybe I have to select this dude and make him. Oh, you know, that's what I could have been doing wrong the whole time. Needs to be a reference object, maybe.
Running like the river, but they all never come for the booze and bass. I'm the one on the lady that'll rock this place. That'll rock this place. That'll rock this place. Rock this place. Rock this place. Rock this place.
Now, what if I put the spawner object in here?
Okay, now. Are you ready?
There's a joint on the corner where the big boys play.
Come on, monster dude. Oh yeah, it takes 2 hits to destroy the robots. Okay. Man, I'm gonna take as long as I need to try to figure out how to get these objects to spawn. Like I took the robot from another game, copied and pasted, but all attempts to recreate an enemy in a container have failed. I got the skull working, which is doing great every 5 seconds. For some reason, he needs to be sideways in order to look good coming out. I don't know what that's about. I think it has something to do with the angle of this cube. Not gonna mess with that. You know, I've been using HypeHype for about a year, and I've been putting off spending lots of time figuring out the spawners. And again, there's just so many different ways to do things that like even here, while we have this spawner with the robot working properly, we have another spawner with this box moving left and right and then spawning. Yeah, just gotta, let's see. So we got this robot. We can have vector transform. Let's add another random. We'll do -5, +5. And we'll have this offset be the vector transform. No. We want the spawn offset X. So it's either -5 or +5 on the X. And let's disconnect that. And right now, just go over here. And nope, that's not the, I want this guy. So select him, and then I'm gonna hit play, and then that'll give us a debug option. And we can take a test. Yo, what's up, Manuel Lopez? When HypeHype will work offline? So HypeHype is not designed to work offline. They may enable it in the future, but right now you need either 3G or Wi-Fi in order to like save it. Basically everything is on the cloud, and they're really good at saving it in terms of if you're working on a game and then it crashes, your game will be crashed. But when will HypeHype work offline? I don't think in the foreseeable future. It's not designed in that manner currently. So I do think that would be a cool feature to be able to make a game and do it all offline. But currently the whole setup is, you're using the app and you want the app to be connected to the library or connected to the music. When you have internet connection, you have access to all the things you need in order to make a game. Whereas if you didn't have connectedness, then you would need to download all the assets, you would need to download all the music files, and that I think would be really heavy. Yeah, so the upside is you have access to all the assets when you're connected online. And yeah, me personally, I travel a lot, and one of my biggest things is always to have a good internet connection speed, because yeah, when you don't have good internet, and sometimes here I don't have good internet, it really messes with my my day. But I'm also not able to get this object to spawn, and that is messing with my day as well. Okay, spawner. So I'm gonna hit play. This is a debug tool, and there should be a thing that says spawn here. Execute the score. Oh wait. If I do this, will this, yeah, so that destroys the guy. Okay, so maybe this is saying that you can't have, okay, so I think that makes sense. You can't spawn, if you have a spawning node, you want that node to be outside of the object. Because if the spawning node is inside the object and then the object gets destroyed, you can no longer spawn the object because the spawner got destroyed. I think this makes sense. What's up? That's my bad internet. Oh, I mean, yeah. The upside to HypeHype is you can do it all on your phone. So if you have bad cell phone service, then that's tough, man. That's like, that just makes me think the late 90s, like in terms of bad internet. Major metropolitan cities like New York City, certain areas, they have horrible internet as well. So, yeah, man, I feel the pain in terms of having good access to internet, because like when you have good access to internet, you have good access to information and all the things. And yeah, man. Hopefully you can find a good internet provider somewhere. Okay, so spawning. So that's why you can't spawn inside the object you want to spawn, because when you destroy that object, you destroy the spawner, which makes sense. And I think I knew this, but oh, I definitely know this. Okay, so let's try object to spawn this dude. And yeah, okay, so I'm gonna select this, hit play. And then okay, it looks like we got the dude spawning. I have no idea exactly what I did in order to cause this to work. And I honestly, right now, I don't care because it's working. But is it every 0.5 seconds? I guess so, 0.5 seconds. I'm thinking half a minute or something, but 0.5 seconds, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. That's literally 8 spawns. So next we need to do is let's go into here and add a random node. Again, I don't know what caused it to work. That's okay. Let's do negative 7.5 and we'll do positive 7.5. And this will be the offset of the X value in terms of where it spawns. We'll see it in a second. Let's just make sure that loading. Oh no, it stopped. Did I destroy something? Okay. Okay, so here they're coming and they're not on different X values, but I'm also kind of thinking if I somehow destroy all these dudes that I break something. Well, not break, but notice we don't have any more alien spawners. Okay, we do got the robot dudes coming out. Yeah. Okay, so here. Oh, no. Okay, so here, random spawner, offset X. Okay. And then we go here, offset X. So I think all the things that I set up before that just didn't save.
I have a wonderful electronic invention I want you to see.
Now look, see, it's spawning, but they're all. Okay, so maybe let's go here, delete, and then we'll go here and vector X. Okay, so they're spawning, but they're all spawning in the same spot. And for whatever reason, I can't seem to change that specific spot. So here we have a cube that is moving left and right, which is causing the skull to spawn. I could try to do the same thing for this alien creature, but honestly, I do not want to. Let me see if I move this over here, if it spawns to the left. Yeah, it does. So this is what's causing everything to spawn. And I go here. And you know what? Let me also try offset Y and offset Z. Sometimes when you spin and rotate the objects, it could cause something to be, so I could be spawning offset X, but it could actually be offset Y. And I'm just gonna turn all these off and then take a look. They all look like yeah, okay, so these do work, but they just okay, so offset X is correct, but maybe when this gets executed, also needs to execute the random node. Was that not being turned on? Okay, now let me go here. So that does work, but I also think maybe I just forgot to turn it on. No. Okay, so it has to do with the interval causing the spawner, but then also we need to execute this. And okay, let's see if the skull has explosion. Okay, so we finally got the robot. We got the alien with no containers to spawn. We got the skull to spawn. And now I kind of want to... And we got the compare node. Value 2 subtract. So the compare node with the collision trigger and the destroy is how we can kind of keep track of the health of the bad guy. Next, you know, I want to create a wall so that you can't move to the left past a certain distance. The trouble is the object that controls everything is a kinematic, and if you have a kinematic object go into another kinematic object, they kind of go through each other. So let me see, maybe I need to change this object to a dynamic object. Oh wait, no, here we go. Limit linear X. No. Okay. Camera movement doesn't disable the limit of the controller. Select the controller, okay. All right, I'm trying to think how to limit the distance the gun can go from the negative X, so say like -10 to +10. I wonder if I can make this dynamic. No, it just moves all over. Okay, so kinematic. Maybe I can try to add a wall. Let's do unmovable object. Got it. Okay, so if an unmovable object meets another unmovable object, what happens? It goes through the object. Crap, it's not what we want. How to keep... How to keep that gun. All right, this is limit X linear. You know what? I'm gonna save it because first of all, we need to update that screenshot for sure. Play. And let's wait for a skull. I didn't like any of those photos. I mean, that was better for sure. Yeah. We need another. No, I missed the skull. The whole point was to get that skull. Gotta take cool thumbnails. Okay, I think that's decent. Let's change the name, shooting practice. So next I'm gonna go look through HypeHype to see if I can find other examples of a kinematic object being held in place by another kinematic object or something like that, because I don't want the player to move too far to the left, but I don't know how to limit. I mean, I could go here. Or maybe, no, wait. This object. And I can go to vector. Is it vector math operator maybe? Maybe just a, oops, what was that? Maybe just a vector generator. No, we don't need that. Vector separator, what does vector do? Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm gonna go just look around through some of the other games. See if I can't find something that has a limited X value in the direction. That's what we want. Maybe we can maybe we can play with Is it add a button here? Maybe we could have two buttons that go left and right, and then you can move left and right. That's an option. And then this cube is kinematic, but we want to limit its physical. Oh, physical, let's do kinematic. Enable kinematic detection. I think that sounds good. But we don't want to be able to go through the wall. Or maybe, okay, let's reset view. Grab the camera. So right now the camera, I mean, I could put like a warning over here, like flash, no enemies or something. But ideally, I want to control the movement of, or limit where it can move. See, I'm trying to think. It's all about this joystick. Yeah, I'm kind of in an area where I'm just trying to look around, see what I think could work. I would say a lot of times when I'm making a game, I don't exactly know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to figure it out along the way. And yeah, when I do that, I get a little bit better each time. But I haven't done this where I have a kinematic object. And I don't want to, actually, I think maybe in my ball, I had a game. Oh, you know what I did? If the character went out of bounds, I just had the game reset. So I could do that. Or like warning, put up a warning and then have it reset. Yeah, this game had boundaries, but if you went outside of it, it reset. This one I think also had boundaries. Yeah, and if you go up, well, I think you can go, if you go down. Alright, I'm just gonna play some games whenever I get kind of a little too frustrated with trying to make a game or trying to get something to happen. It's good to take a break by just playing games. So that's cool. Yeah, I find that to be a good philosophy, making games with playing games, because when you're trying to teach yourself how to do something, when you're learning, your mind, you know, you get headaches. I don't know what's going on here. I mean, this looks cool. I love the colors for sure. And that guy really is doing something. Okay.
This is the same abandoned place.
This is the same abandoned place. I got mug adventures. He's limited. Wait, is there a wall? Maybe the wall is holding him. It's kind of like a wall. Is he kinematic? No, he's got no physics. No physics. Not helpful.
What was those killing noises?
Now let's look at this dude. This guy, he's a dynamic object. Okay, so maybe I need to use a dynamic object, limit my different values. So let's try that then. Okay, this we're going to change to a dynamic object, and we want to limit the Y and Z so it doesn't move all over the place. And this is great. This actually works. The gun is a little bit kind of, yeah, this works. So let's go ahead, grab this, that -10, duplicate and move this at +10. And we can make it invisible. And again, it's just a wall to keep the player in place. And that was kind of great. Just playing the games in HypeHype helped me come to the solution that I was looking for, which I had, to be fair, I had it for a second, which was to make the cube that shoots the balls dynamic, but I forgot to turn off the limiting Y and Z value, because when you just have a floating cube in the air, it's gonna move. Like, there's physics in the world. But setting it so that I believe I set it so like the Y, the Z, and the angular of the X stays the same. We can now do this. And this is supposed to be invisible. I don't know why it's not. This is great. And I kind of want to, yeah. So now we got this structure. I'm going to add a compare particle collision destroy. So what we have set up, I believe, on the robot, I wonder if I can do this. I'll have to do it all separately. And let's go ahead and do I put these all in a container and make it a reusable? Yo, what's up, Dimitro? Oh, the Google Play link is the Google Play link. Do I have a Google Play link? Thank you for letting me know. Let me take a look at that, because if that is broken, it's probably been broken for a little bit, and that is my bad. Okay, so we got the Google subscribe link. I hope that's not broken. That one's like super important. Yeah, okay, so that one. That one I'll have to your channel. I'll have to check on that Google link, but that's a bummer, because that one's the Google link just supposed to make it super easy to subscribe to my channel. I should really test these links more often, as opposed to, okay, that one works, and then the HypeHype download works. Okay, cool. Oh, you know what it is? And again, it's probably when I updated the name to my channel to HypeC, which was about a year ago, and all my subscriber numbers have gone down. Oh man. So I'm gonna definitely take a look at that after the stream. Right now, let's create more columns. I want these columns in a reusable container. I'm gonna take this, we're gonna call this a reusable, and we're gonna drag all these in there. Select, hit show, and dynamic. Okay. Compare, particle effect, collision trigger. Collision trigger on green. Oh, I have a Google. Yeah, if I have, so the Google Play Store and the App Store. I discontinued my App Store, and that should definitely, I think I use a Linktree. So I discontinued my developer account for Google and for Apple, so that I can just focus on making games on HypeHype, which in my opinion helps make it so much easier to just make games. So let me go ahead. Yeah, I forgot about that, which kind of bummed me out, honestly, and I guess it's to be expected that they would remove my games from the App Store and from the Play Store if I no longer well, Play Store should work. No. The Play Store, I think, okay, so when it comes to the Google Play Store, I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of processes you have to maintain in terms of all the app stores and the Play stores. They like it when you continuously update your app or your game. Like when it's brand new, people do it once a week, and when it becomes older, publishers do it maybe once a month, once every couple of months. When it came to the Google Play Store, I would lose all my keys and encoder passwords, so I would never be able to update my games. I would be able to publish it, put it on the App Store, and for the first week or 3, I'd be able to update those games. Again, App Store, Play Store, they like that. They're like, oh, you're continuously updating your game, even though when publishing to the App Store, Play Store, you have to do so much. And anyways, I no longer have an Apple developer account because I found that it just took a long time to make games, which is kind of what I'm trying to focus on. And I think HypeHype is truly going to be the future when it comes to everybody being able to make and play games and share with the community and work with that community to create such games. I do think they're a couple of years away. I think some people like to think they're like maybe like, I'm sure if they were to go public on the Play Store and on the App Store, they would get millions of downloads, but they're trying to set everything up to be tip top, so it's just not there yet. And yeah, thanks for letting me know about the link. I haven't messed with those in a while. Okay, so right now I'm going to put these columns into this container, and then I'll be able to drag and drop those into the game. But first, step 1, collision trigger. This is compare. We'll have it be to collision trigger. On collision, go to compare. Value B, operation subtract 1. Okay. So this column needs to be hit twice before it gets destroyed. Value 2 minus 1, and then if output equals true, destroy. Okay, cool. And we can even do a broadcaster, which is supposed to keep score, broadcaster. And I believe we call it score. If true, and broadcaster execute. Now let me make sure that's the same setup here. Compare operator less or equal value. Less or equal value. We need to turn it on? No, we don't need to turn it on. It just does the math apparently. And then destroy. Did we set it to destroy? Yes. Okay. So now I'm going to do this for the other 2 columns. And yeah. Oh. We also want on collision, execute the particle effect. And let's make sure that particle effect is set to explosion. And turn off the executing, otherwise it just automatically turns on every time, which is not what we want. Compare physical collection tree. Okay, cool. Now we got to do that all again, which is redundant. Technically, I could copy it and then just grab the other object. I wonder, yeah, let's see if I can do that. Duplicate. And then we want the middle column. Yo, what's hype cool? Oh man, I don't even know what to search for this. Okay, so if I knew what to search, then we could just copy and paste Pole, maybe pole. Yeah, it's like there's so many different ways to do things in HypeHype. I mean, what would you call like a column? This is supposed to be like a Greek Corinthian type of column, which I paid attention to apparently in school. I always did like ancient Greek and Roman history, so that makes it easier, I guess, to pay attention. Okay, I don't see it. So I wanted to just copy and paste this because that would be easier, but instead we'll just go ahead and grab everything that we need. We need a collision trigger. We need a compare. Set this to 2. And it's nice because we can do this all within this object, and this reusable object has 3 separate objects, so that should be interesting to play with. We want a destroyer and a broadcaster. Set the broadcaster to score. Okay. We have finished drinking coffee, and now to like vitamin C lightly sour sugar water. Super healthy. This doesn't taste that great. I mean, it tastes like sour sugar water, but there's not a lot of sugar, and the sourness is the vitamin C. Okay, focus. It's funny how we distract ourselves so that we don't do what we compare node. Value B, set, subtract 1. Okay. 2, subtract, okay. Oh, we need a particle node as well. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take one of these days and let me know if you think this would be cool to just like spend a day on particles. I might actually just do that on my own because at least when I am doing these live streams, a lot of it is me trying to figure it out, and it's like it just takes time and a lot of energy, and I find it to be easier when there's no video. Collision trigger. And I have been wanting to do that for at least a couple of months, and I have spent hours just messing with the particle. I'm trying to like recreate some famous old paintings, but I'm so bad at it. And I know if I made a live stream with just me being bad at particles, that would just mess with my head. Okay, so particles not executing, collision trigger, compare node, if true, destroy. Oh, hold up. It's first if true broadcaster. So if you have a broadcaster and a destroy happening at the same time, if the destroy happens before the broadcaster, then the broadcaster won't broadcast. So, oop. So I'm doing it after. So in order of logic, or 1, 2, hopefully the broadcaster is enabled first. And if not, we'll definitely need to test this to make sure, because here you can see I didn't do that. And I think Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 different nodes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and let's do the same for this one. We want collision trigger, compare, destroy, particle, broadcast. And I say this all the time. This does get repetitive, but it's really good for muscle memory. When you do the same thing over and over again, and you want that muscle memory. Like, the ability to have that muscle memory just means that you'll be able to do that in the future without even thinking about it. And right now you have to think about it and do the process over and over again, and maybe you'll miss a couple of steps, but this is good because it gets you into that place where you'll just be able to do it. And that's what you want. And then when you can do all of these different things, spawning objects, creating certain walls, limiting X, Y, and Z values of certain objects, you know, the mass of what you can do will be huge. Okay, so value is this, we want 2. And if a collision trigger happens here, compare node value B, subtract 1. Okay. And particle effect, execute the explosion. And if this is true, broadcaster, execute, and then destroy. Okay. Okay, so let's try this. I'm gonna grab this here and put it here. And let's see if this... Okay, first of all, the whole thing just fell down, so that's not good. Okay, so what is causing... Oh, okay, so these are objects gray and collision. Should be set to, there we go. We didn't have the collision set up properly. Collision group green. Green is the collision of the bullets. And there we go. But these are not getting destroyed. It looks like the middle column did get destroyed. So let's... And I do think I should increase the number to like 10 or something. Let's see how the collision repair is set up on here. Subtract 1. Oh, I think maybe this is supposed to be compare A, subtract 1. Oh, I deleted everything. Okay. So, yeah, let's do this. Wonder if I can make the column objects green. So instead of destroying them with the gun, maybe we could have them fall on enemy bad guys. I mean, it almost works. All right, well, I got the goal of getting a second enemy, which is the alien dude, to spawn properly. I'm not sure what the issues were causing the container that we have the robot. I was just trying to copy that robot and do the exact same thing. That didn't end up working out, but that's okay because we still got it to spawn. And we got the Ghost Rider skull also. So I think that's a good setup for now. Next, I think I want to, and then we got the gun to stop moving all the way to the left, stop moving all the way to the right, which is good because you want to give the player certain kind of boundaries. I think the next step would be to, I would like to set this up more like a Plants vs. Zombies and have, you know, oh, and then a health for the player as well would be good to set up too. So maybe I'll do that tomorrow. We'll see. But yeah, thanks for hanging out as I build out this game. And yeah, I think it's important to see, you know, when it comes to making games, it's not just you sit down, everything works out properly, and then you're done. At least not for me yet. I hope to be there someday, but until then, I am happy to put in the time to figure it out. All right. Until next time, I'm HypeC. Stay safe out there and peace.